5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Hello, this is Romeo Luna,
Max Garza,
Danny Salinas,
and welcome to MMA Mayhem. We're going to be speaking about UFC 211 this evening. This is going to be for Dustin Poirier against Eddie Alvarez. Is it? Shit, dude, come on. All right, so starting out with the main event of the prelims on FX, we're going to start with Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier. Poirier's coming in number 9. Eddie Alvarez coming in right number 3. What do you think about this fight, guys?
should be a pay-per-view card. Definitely a pay-per-view worthy fight. Should be on the, my opinion, on the pay-per-view. Dustin Poirier, one of the top strikers in the UFC, and Eddie Alvarez. It kind of sucks that they demoted him from UFC main event card, pay-per-view main event guy to a main event on an FX. Kind of a little bit of a slap in the face to a guy who's been around the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, and UFC's defense, one of the fighters is coming off a two-fight losing streak, isn't he? He actually main carded a fight night not too long ago in our area, and he lost in the second round by knockout, if I remember correctly, out of a 5-round fight. And then he also fought recently, and I believe it was against.
He lost against Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson, that's who he got knocked out when he was here. Yeah,
I'm not too sure who he lost against before. Eddie Alvarez just coming off of his loss to Conor McGregor. He lost the belt, and I kind of think he kind of deserve a little bit more respect than to be relegated to the main event on the free card. But hey, more exposure for him. Everyone's going to be watching that. But definitely going to be one of the better fights, and it's definitely a win for all the fans out there. So
they're both strikers. It's going to be a stand-up contest. I don't really see this one going to the ground much. Really hope Alvarez comes back and gets a good knockout on this one. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for Eddie Alvarez in this fight. See Poirier. I mean, take nothing against that guy, away from that guy. He's a great striker. Just that I think Alvarez might just have an advantage with his striking, and I call it a second round TKO. Eddie Alvarez.
I'm going the other way. I think Dustin Poirier is going to get the knockout. Eddie Alvarez just got knocked out, and I think it takes. From what I can gather, I think it takes a whole year for someone to come back from a vicious knockout the way Conor knocked this dude's block off his last fight. So I'm gonna go with Dustin on this fight, and I think Dustin's gonna edge him out in 3 rounds with the decision.
I'm gonna go with Max, but I think Poirier's gonna knock him out. I think it just usually depends on what Alvarez comes out, and it usually depends on what Poirier comes out. I think we're gonna see Poirier come out just real crisp and real clean. I think he's gonna finish him first round. It's gonna be quick.
But what if wrestler Alvarez shows up?
I still think he's going to get him.
Think so?
I just think so, yeah. I think Poirier has this ability to make you fight his fight. I think the only one that took him out of his element was McGregor. Kind of got in his head. And then Johnson was just on a tear before he lost. I really think he's going to come out sharp. And I have Poirier with a knockout.
Well, they both lost to McGregor, and he got to both their heads, and that's why both of them were quick stoppages, quick endings for Alvarez and Poirier against McGregor. But this one, I see there's no discussions, there's no arguments with these two guys. It's gonna be a simple fight, clean fight. It's gonna be a good fight. But honestly, like I said, I take Alvarez, even if he doesn't go to the ground. And I think Poirier stand back up, but in the end, I have Alvarez just getting him against the gate, rocking him a little bit, and hopefully he lands a big 1-2, or if not, just a good cross and just knocking him out. They're both coming off a knockout in general, within the past year, so
sounds good.
They both have something to prove.
Somebody's gonna get up. Somebody's gonna get knocked out of my eyes.
Somebody's gonna get knocked out.
Somebody's gonna be getting up saying, "Who the fuck was that guy?" That's all right with me.
All right, on to our main card. We're gonna have, I believe, opening bout is Pettis versus
Henry Cejudo.
Cejudo. I can never pronounce that name.
Cejudo.
Henry Cejudo.
Cejudo. Can never pronounce the name properly. I do apologize. This fight, what do you see, guys? I'm not the biggest follower in this division, so
like what happened last night, like how Canelo bested Chavez. Henry has fought way better fighters than what Pettis has. I kind of feel like since he's what's his brother's name? Anthony Pettis. Yeah, they're kind of keeping him in the UFC, taking care of him, giving him a good record so he can stick around for a bit. And Henry has had better fights. So even though he's coming off of 2 losses, but he's losing to the champ, and he lost to the first round. Who was it? Benavidez. he lost to
Good
Benavidez.
fighter.
Yeah, he lost to Benavidez. He lost to the champion. So I think, with those 2 fights, it made him a better fighter, and I think he's going to put Pettis on his ass and just pound him out for 3 rounds.
I'm with you. I think it's Henry Cejudo by ground and pound, some sort of stoppage. He's a world-class wrestler. Takedowns are always on point. Depends on if he comes in on point with his weight. He's had issues making weight before, and that if you've done that before, if you don't do it correctly, it could take the wind out of your sails. So if he comes in, he handles his weight correctly, and he rehydrates and gets up to speed where he should be the fight night, I have him destroying Pettis all night. I just have him laying on him and beating the hell out of him. I got Cejudo in 3 by decision.
So there you go. Cejudo by stoppage, 2nd or 3rd round. I'm going to go with these guys. They sound like they know what they're talking about. So I got Cejudo, 2nd, 3rd round, stoppage of the ground.
Okay, guys, ready? Y'all can continue. I'm ready.
All right. Next in the card is going to be Yair El Pantera Rodriguez against number 2 Frankie Edgar, the answer. Frankie Edgar's coming in with a 20-5 record, and El Pantera is coming in with an 11-1 record. What do you see happening in this fight, guys? It's gonna be a show.
I think it's gonna be Pantera being flashy as he always is, but I think the pace that Frankie Edgar puts on you is gonna be it's gonna be hard for him to answer. He hasn't fought anybody as dynamic as Edgar. He fought an old beat up BJ Penn. As hard as it is for me to say that because I was such a BJ Penn fan, but I just think the dynamic that Frankie Edgar brings to the table, his slick boxing, his ability to change levels on a dime. I have him just outworking him and taking him down. I don't really see nobody finishing anybody unless maybe Yair can throw some sort of flashy kick. I see Edgar doing his just a straight up workman-like performance and taking this to the judges. But I have Edgar winning this one in a UD as well.
Max?
I agree also, man. Edgar, it's hard to bet against Frankie Edgar, man. That guy shows up to bang with anybody. His hands are amazing. He's gonna come and throw his his DDT off the top rope, but I think Frankie's gonna outbox him and just keep good distance and beat him up for 3 rounds. I think they're both gonna be gun shy, but Frankie's gonna bring it to him.
And I'm gonna have to agree with both of you. I believe Frankie Edgar's gonna come in here. He's gonna do what he does best. He's gonna take control of the fight. He's gonna be very unorthodox. He's gonna be all over the place, bouncing around. Pantera's not gonna really get a good strike in him, unless he's like you guys said, unless there's a flashy kick somewhere that lands out of nowhere. But we've seen Frankie Edgar take a kick to the chops and just keep on mowing down. So I don't really think it's gonna be a stoppage anywhere. I don't really see this going to the ground at all. If it does, they're gonna stand right back up. It's gonna be a stand-up fight. I say the same thing, 3 rounds all the way. If somebody gets knocked out, that would be surprising, but it'll also be great as well because it'll be a hell of a knockout. But yeah, Frankie Edgar, we have it 3-0 for Frankie Edgar, number 2, coming into this fight against Yair Rodriguez. Now, going on to the next bout, this is going to be...
Okay, you guys can continue with them.
Next in the card, once again, is going to be number 5, Jorge Masvidal versus number 3, Demian Maia. Striker versus grappler. What do you see in this one, guys?
Tough one to call, man. You got the world class, grappling prowess of Demian Maia, which is probably second to none in the UFC. I think the only one that can maybe even hold a candle to him would be J.A.R, possibly. And then you have Gamebred, who right now is on fire, man. The guy does not really give he don't really give a shit. He just goes in there, he fights. And it's not like he's untactical. He has a game plan. He executes. He's got really, really slick boxing. I'm kind of disappointed they made this fight. I was really, really hoping for Masvidal versus one of the Diaz brothers. That to me would have been something that everybody would like to watch. But hey, whoever wins this one is going to go after either. Who's champ right now? Once then, Woodley, yeah, that guy. Should be Wonder Boy. I'm just saying. I'm gonna, in my opinion, if this is so hard, it's too hard to call, man. Because if Demian Maia shows up and does what he's supposed to do, which he is a master of, which is executing a takedown, it's gonna end really, really quick. But if Masvidal keeps it up, I mean, we could see another repeat of Nate the Great when he knocked out Demian Maia as well. So it just depends. But safe money would be to bet on Demian Maia. But I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna say that Masvidal comes ready to rock and roll and he finishes him. It has to be early though.
You know, it's not going to be hard to call. Masvidal will come in. He will strike. He will bang. He will keep this standing up. He knows the game plan of Demian Maia. Everybody knows the game plan of Demian Maia. To stop it, yes, it is really hard. He's very tactical. His takedowns are brought up with some of the best takedowns. But if you get him out of his game, he doesn't have the best jaw in the business. Like you said, by Nathan Gray Marquardt knocked him out. I've seen him try, when he does stand up and he's out of his game, his element, he's not the best striker. You could go, like you said, against Gray, and Masvidal has that knockout power. He's coming off knockout one of the top ranked in that division, which is Cerrone. And nobody saw that coming either. Nobody saw that coming. I didn't see that coming. I'm a huge Cerrone fan. I didn't know who this guy was coming into the fight. Saw him. I'm a huge fan now. Demian Maia is coming off a great submission against Condit, but I just think that if it just stands up, if they stand up for more than 3 minutes, Masvidal's gonna get him out of his element. He's gonna knock him out. But that's what I'm hoping for as a fan.
As a fan, yeah, I'm going with more of my fans' heart. I want Masvidal to win. What do you think, Max?
Okay, well, Demian Maia's jiu-jitsu is so good. His jiu-jitsu is so good. He made Carlos Condit question whether or not he should be fighting MMA. He made a fighter that good, what he was
point proven.
He was ranked second in the world at one point, right? Carlos Condit.
He was
UFC interim champ at one time.
Yeah, there you go. And he once this man takes your back, you're all but done. You can count on two hands how much time you have left, how many seconds you have left before this guy submits you. Undefeated at welterweight. This guy was fucking up middleweights for a little bit until he found his home at 170. So I think Masvidal, he's a great fighter, but jiu-jitsu wise, it's not even close. This guy's gonna clown him.
Spoken like a true jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, if it goes to the ground, and I really think Demian Maia is gonna submit him in the first round. Not as quickly as Condit, because I'm sure Condit wanted to bang. He wasn't even trying to work his jiu-jitsu. He was just trying to not go to the ground with him. He was trying to evade his shoot. But, he got taken down quickly, and I think same thing with George Masvidal. He's going to fight. He looks stronger. Masvidal's a stronger fighter, so he's going to fight him off a little bit longer than Condit, but he will eventually take his back, and he will eventually choke him.
I don't know. I think Masvidal might come in with that have nothing to lose attitude. I think he knows he's going to be taken down. So I'm pretty sure he's practicing the spin outs and the reverses. And I think you might don't be surprised if he doesn't get choked out the first or second attempt. It might take a couple attempts for Maia if he does take it out, which we all know and expect he will be doing, taking him down with jiu-jitsu. But like I said, don't be surprised if he actually does come out of certain positions where you don't think he's going to come out of. I think if he gets sweaty enough, I think within 3 or 4 minutes in, or even the second round, if he goes that far, he will have opportunities to get out of those disadvantages that are when he's in the ground, or if he has his back turned against Maia. That's what I think. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm thinking that this might be the fight of the night if it gets past the first round. It could be.
And the winner of this fight deserves the next title shot, or?
Number one contender.
Number one contender, yeah.
I think winner of this fight definitely needs to go. I think whoever wins this fight has to. You got to take in the Diaz brothers. Wonder Boy's still in the mix.
Yeah, Wonder Boy's still in the mix.
Wonder Boy's definitely still in the mix. The Diaz brothers are, they're both always. It's just money fights for those guys, and it depends on who Willie wants to fight. It depends if Willie shows up, Willie the fighter shows up, or Willie the prima donna shows up. Because that guy, I don't know, man. He's got that Floyd Mayweather attitude already.
He's trying to fight a McGregor not for the money. Now he's all about the cash.
And that's as a fighter, I understand that because let's just be honest. They don't pay shit anywhere you go for a fighting. So I can understand Woodley's mentality, but at the same time, for a fan, you want to see him get in there and fight who he's supposed to fight. Mm-hmm. You don't want this to take the turn of boxing where they're like, I want to pick this guy, and I want to pick this guy. I don't want to see that, and nobody wants it to turn that way. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, one of these guys gets in there and they can establish the rightful number one contender after this fight. This is balls of Maia. Of Demian Maia to just even take this fight because he is the number one contender, but he wants to stay active, and obviously it shows that how much the UFC pays you when you have to take fights like this, So this is balls of him to take such a dangerous fight. So the fans are going to win this one. So sad to see that somebody's going to have to lose it. So.
Well, I'm with you on that one. I do believe that Demian Maia does deserve his number one contendership, and they haven't given it to him because the fans don't want to see that just yet. They want to see knockout artists, and they want to see fights in the night. And this gentleman, he just came off of a quick decision or a quick submission in the first round against, like you said, one of the number one top fighters, and they still ranked him number 3. And what's his name?
It's it's just unfortunate because when grappling is a thing of beauty, unfortunately the American audience doesn't understand that. It's almost like Ben Askren outside of the UFC. Dana White doesn't want him because he's beating the hell out of everybody, but he's a wrestler. Nobody wants to see wrestling.
He's boring.
Yeah, and as there's good shows out there like that Submission Underground and Fight to Pro, Fight to Win and Fight and Fight, that they're beginning to educate the masses on how badass jiu-jitsu and wrestling are. But unfortunately, we're still kind of behind it. We still have that drink a Miller Lite and say fuck his ass up mentality, as opposed to understanding the true martial arts. And that's just education, and that's just culture. If you go to Japan, if you understand the crowds in Japan, they sit there quietly because they understand what's going on through the fight, and that's unfortunately that's not America. So it's unfortunate that such a skilled fighter has to take a back seat to well, I mean, it's just business. He has to take a back seat to how the UFC is going to make money, and so he's definitely the number one contender right now after Wonderboy lost. So. But it's balls of him, and I give him respect for that. Hopefully, whoever's hungry that night will get it.
Who does Damian Maia have to beat to get his title shot?
Dana White.
So you're saying that he did, okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think that Masvidal deserves to be ranked number 5 after just coming off of one fight with Cerrone?
Oh, he's taken a long way up. He deserves to be a lot higher, definitely. But that division is stacked. It's so stacked that number 5 is, that's... And it sucks, because he still has Conor above him. He still has Wonderboy above him. He has Woodley as the champ. There's just so many. Diaz isn't even ranked, but he's definitely one name that they throw around there often. There's a lot of badasses in that division. And it's like what they do with all grapplers. They're gonna shut him down and they're gonna put him like J.A.R. should have fought for the title a long ass time ago, and they put him on ice because unfortunately he's not selling enough tickets. Look at Yoel Romero. Good grappler, they're putting his ass on ice too because nobody really wants to see you lie on people and beat them up. I mean, that is the hardest aspect of a fight in general, is to be able to grind the hell out of somebody. When people see them on the fence, that is the hardest part of the whole fight because so much energy and so much stress is being exerted during that position to avoid a takedown and to get the takedown. So it's like that's why they boo Cormier a lot because he's a wrestler. He just wants to pound the shit out of you, And it's not pretty to watch, but I'll tell you what, to me that's my worst nightmare, man. I hate to get in there with a wrestler and just they get on top of you and you're not gonna get up, especially one of them that's world class. So I think they're putting Maia on ice. I really do. They're putting him on ice because they're waiting for him to lose, and once he loses, they can justify not giving him his title shot. So that's my opinion. And that's just the way the game works.
And be like, I told you so.
Yeah, they'd be like, he wasn't ready, even though he's been ready for a long ass time. But unfortunately, the crowds aren't ready for it.
Because eventually everybody loses.
Yeah.
Anderson Silva was on.
Yeah, I don't care who you are, you're gonna lose. The sport and
if you don't lose, they'll find you somebody to lose too. So
yeah, they'll do something to get you out of it. So it is what it is.
Well, after this, Maia's gonna have to he's gonna get his number 1 contendership. He is ranked number 3 going against number 5. So if he doesn't get number 1, something's definitely wrong in that picture in that division. If you can't go through Conde at number 5, Masvidal, and not get number 1 rank, you guys are right. But yeah, so Maia submission.
No, that was good, dude. That was awesome. That was like the best one I've done so far. Seriously.
His jiu-jitsu is just sick, man. If I had
I've
a fraction of his jiu-jitsu, man,
I've been following him for years. I used to be a big fan. But the thing is that he's a John Cena of MMA. He's very repetitive. Very repetitive. I want to see him. I mean, he knows it. He knows that he's not making the big bucks. He knows he's not getting the fights he's supposed to. And the fights he is getting, he's getting robbed of those because they're giving him younger, heavier guys that just want to, strike. And that's what Dana White's doing. They did it because he wants to, they don't want to give him his title shot.
His time is running out too, man.
That's another reason.
It kind of reminds me of when Chuck Liddell was on a tear, remember? But Tito wouldn't fight him. Yep. And he was still taking, when he fought
Tito. He was like the unofficial champion. He beat everybody.
Yeah.
That should have beaten Tito. He beat everybody more. So he protected Tito quite a bit.
That's what it kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of him, and kind of like Tyron Woodley's kind of been ignoring him, or trying to avoid him. But okay, next fight, guys.
How do you pronounce your name?
Jaoanna Jedrzejczyk. Jedrzejczyk.
All right, cool.
Come on, baby.
Jelly?
Up next, we got Jessica Andrade versus the champion Jaoanna Jedrzejczyk from Poland.
Getting jiggy with it?
So we got Andrade. She's coming as Brazilian.
Andrade.
Number 3 ranked coming into this fight against the Poland champion. What do you think of this fight coming in, guys? I mean, I've seen the champ fight already 2 or 3 times. Great striker. You know, if she goes on the ground, she's a well-rounded fighter. That's why she's a champion right now. Defended her title, 3-4 times already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely one of the most accomplished strikers in the UFC, period, regardless of gender. I think she's probably one of my favorite fighters to watch in terms of her Muay Thai is so crisp, and she has that traditional Dutch style of kickboxing. So definitely one of my favorite fighters, but I don't really see this lady even doing much to her. I have Jaoanna.
Let's go with Jaoanna.
Let's go Jaoanna.
Jump shot?
JJ, double J.
Jeremy was a bullfight.
Why are there so many concepts?
I have her winning by knockout or something. Just like working out, like just outworking her. She's been outworking everybody to the whole 5 rounds. So if it doesn't go to decision, she's going to finish her in somewhere form. She needs to really Andrade needs to check those elbows and doesn't want to clinch up with her because her clinch game it's on point. So I have Jaoanna Jedi Knight winning. Jump shot.
I have to agree as well. Don't see this fight going the whole 5 rounds. If it does, I'd be very surprised if Jessica take that kind of beating. Jaoanna is just a great striker all around, and seeing the past couple of her fights, I'm very impressed. Like I said, male or female, great striker, and she really also not only in the cage but outside. She always has something to say to her opponents. She's not quiet about her championship. She wants to let people know. She wants to know her opponents know that not only they're going to come in and get a beating, they're going to lose too. They're going to get the beating, and they're not going to leave with the title. She'll be leaving with the title as usual, but we'll see the weigh-ins. We'll see what she tells her again, but she already had spoken to her once, and it wasn't kind words. She just told her, you're going to lose. Are you ready to lose? You're going to lose. It's gonna be fun to watching you go down. So I agree with her. I agree with her.
Yeah, she's not lying.
She's
not lying. She
never usually does.
But what I want to know, is she going to get Stipe Miocic money, or?
That's not a lot of money. He's not making a lot of money out of
No, not even
compared to most other champions.
Okay, so he's not making Overeem money.
Yeah, Overeem making some serious dough.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he got paid more when he lost against him.
Yeah,
Probably the highest person on that
UFC
card. Yeah.
Jaoanna's probably making like what,
Joanna's
$35,000?
Joanna might be making a little bit more than her. She's very marketable, pretty face, dangerous striker.
And she gives action, she puts on a show.
I just wish champions got paid like champions.
Yeah.
Especially when you defend your title so many times.
Like
Demetrius
Johnson was also arguing about
That guy is the greatest fighter the UFC's never. The UFC doesn't push. So it's sad to see that, but definitely.
Is it because he's too small? He's a harder man to push. Like it's hard to bring.
I guess so. I mean, he's just kind of in the wrong culture. If he was in Thailand, he'd be getting money out of the wazoo because they just love small fighters because it's a small culture. But here it's just in America they like big things and big flashy things, and he's just not.
Especially in Texas.
So we'll see how that works.
I mean, he's even thinking about going up. I heard against. I guess maybe because of that.
Because he has 9 defenses, and they owe him 9 belts.
Yeah,
that's the controversy that they're going through right now. Because you're supposed to get a brand new belt every time.
They get the same one.
Yeah, he's been.
They don't make him that small.
They don't give one more and he breaks Anderson Silva's record.
The one he has right now has like ketchup stains on it or something like that. He goes and eats it in and out.
The golden steaky.
Oh, did you guys say who y'all thought would win or no?
Oh, Jedrzejczyk. She's gonna.
I think Danny and Romeo said, but then Max.
Jimmy Johnson.
Who do you think's gonna win?
Jedrzejczyk, yeah. But Dana White wins everything. Yeah, he's the ultimate winner. They should put him on top of everyone just by himself.
It all.
I was telling you that Mighty Mouse having this stuff. So on to the main event of the main card of UFC 211. Number 4, Junior Dos Santos versus the champion Miocic. Stipe Miocic. Now, why this is considered one of the greatest fights of the year is not only because the last time they fought back in 2014 was just, a smashful event, what you want to see in the UFC, a bloodbath, But it's the last loss that Miocic, excuse me, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, has had since he became the champion. He had a winning streak after Dos Santos, and then he became the champion. So since 2014, this is the what they call it, the rubber match?
Yes, this would be the rematch. Yeah,
No, the rematch. Excuse me. Yes.
Rubber match would be the
Third. Yes.
I have Miocic winning this one. Unfortunately, I have Miocic just winning this, and unfortunately, I just think that it might be time for Junior Dos Santos to hang it up. He's on the verge of being punch drunk in my eyes. He takes a beating every fight, and when you're in the heavyweight division, every shot counts because every shot is like a car wreck with those guys. Obviously, the UFC is pushing this fight because it's the big boys and they want to, but in my opinion, you need to put Junior Dos Santos in the category with Diego Sanchez. You guys need to go home, take your ball, hang it up, guys. It's already, it's lights out, man. You guys are just taking too much abuse in there. You don't need to take that anymore, right? I have Miocic winning, and it's just sad to see. And I mean this in the most respectful way because the mind's gone to places in the sport that I only wish I could be. But I think it's time for Dos Santos to hang it up. He's definitely taking a beating in too many fights to the point where let's try to avoid brain damage, man. So after this, man, after Miocic wins, I really think Cement needs to consider hanging it up.
Max, you're right ahead.
I agree also, man. I think Dos Santos has been beat up a little bit too much. Although, you know what? He does have a puncher's chance. If he lands, he can knock anybody out. But he fought Miocic 3 years ago, and I think Miocic is a much different fighter now. Ever since he won his title, he's been a beast. And I really think I have Miocic either knocking him out in the first or second round. If Junior doesn't catch him earlier.
No, I'm sorry I'm going to have to go against both you gentlemen. I think Junior Dos Santos, he gets better with age. He's like a fine wine to me. And I think he's gained his he got the title shot for a reason because he still got what it takes. He's still a great striker, a great grappler when he goes to the ground. I think he actually might surprise everybody and knock him out in the first or second round. I really don't see this going to decision. I don't see it going the whole 5. I actually do see Junior Dos Santos, throwing high kicks, still surprising people. He's going to do the Dan Henderson bit and shock the world and take that heavyweight title back.
So Stipe gets the win. What next in the heavyweight division? Does Stipe get to fight Velasquez, or does he go back to Verdum? Should Overeem get the title shot next? Or
I say Verdum. I think that would be a great fight to see. I mean, I know it was a quick stoppage last time, but I think he, if he has another fight and it's a quick win, he should get a rematch.
That division needs some help, that's for sure. But because we're tossing around a whole bunch of names that get tossed around. Velasquez is another one, unfortunately. Too many injuries. Not that he's taking a beating, because I think his body just has a lot of miles on it. Still probably the most physically gifted fighter in the whole UFC, but when he's on point, he's on point. But the injuries are what's stopping him right now. So Velasquez to me is out of it. I think Velasquez might not even fight again due to the back injury he has. And he's a dick, so it doesn't bother me. But the rest of them, Overeem, we saw what happens when you cut out the horse meat, start getting your dad bod, and then we'll see how this works out. I mean, there's really not too much more than that. Should they give Big Country a chance? Because there's really not much left in the heavyweight division. Well, you know what? I lie. How the hell could you forget about the Black Beast?
Derek Lewis.
Yeah, you know what? I need to shut up. That's the next in line is the Black Beast. That
well,
guy.
He said he was gonna take a year off.
Did he? God damn it, Derek Lewis.
He just fought recently, and he was the main event after he knocked out his opponent. They interviewed him. He said he was gonna get on top of some ladies, and it's not verbatim, but it's close enough to what he said. He's gonna get on top of some women.
That guy is not afraid to say that he loves ladies.
And and take a year off. I'm hoping he was just kidding around. He did say he wanted his bonus check. He did say that he wanted to get paid the big bucks as well too. So we'll see. Maybe if this fight goes as
drag
planned.
him off the couch. That's what
Yeah.
He might be the
It
next
won't take
champ in
much.
my eyes because that guy, one hitter quitter all the way, man. So
All it takes is
that's the next one in my opinion.
and Dana White has that pretty pen and that paycheck ready, the checkbook ready. So as long as he offers him a good deal, I'm more sure he'll be happy to get off that couch and get that woman off him. So
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
but so you guys have it.
I have Stipe retiring.
Stipe
for sure.
retiring
Yeah.
Dos Santos. I have Dos Santos second. at furthest by knockout. Hopefully, does a pretty little high kick or just a great straight to the schnoz and knock out the champ and get the belt back for at least another 6 months. Now, he's not going to defend it, but he can hold it for another 6 months.
They just need to rename this UFC names of people I can't fucking pronounce. And that's pretty much how the fuck do you say Stipe
Miocic.
Vicious?
Just call him Steven.
I don't know. Why don't you say Yair or Yair?
Yair. Jaeger.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, you can't pronounce any of these motherfuckers' names, but they'll all whoop your ass.
May 19th starts when at?
Oh, so we got the STC May 19th, Friday at the McAllen Convention Center. Doors open at 7. The event starts at 8. Be a lot of fireworks, a lot of local talent. You never know. You watch the card, you'll see some guys you could be seeing on the UFC soon. That's just the way the game works, you know.
Speaking of local talent, we see that you're going to be in this fight card.
Yep. 35 years old, 25th pro fight, trying to get it done one more time. See if I still got it going. So.
Who's your opponent? Let's talk about your opponent a little bit. Like fighting styles. What's coming with?
They keep saying I'm gonna get an easy match, and they keep throwing me Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. I don't know why they think that's fucking easy, but all right, I'm down with it. Junior Freitas, he's a head instructor at Arte Suave, something like that. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, one of Diego Freitas guys. So definitely, if you come from that camp, you know, there's gonna be some good fighters coming out of there. So I want to thank Raul for the easy fight. Yeah, and you know, it should be. I have my hands full, but luckily I found my own Brazilians, authentic from Brazil, to help me out with these guys. So definitely a lot better prepared than I have been in a long time, and feeling a lot better than I have been in a long time too. So the year off definitely did me really well. And, so I'm expecting to knock his ass out. I'm not gonna lie. There's no friends here. I'm gonna try to put him to bed real fucking fast. So that's what I'm calling.
Well, we're hoping to see that too. Do you know when you're going to be a part of the card? Is it beginning of the card?
I'll be the third to the last fight, right before the co-main event.
Co-main?
Yeah, so I'll be
got the Coco.
I'll be right below the co.
But ahead of everybody else in the game. So that
not
means,
quite better than everybody else, but better than the rest.
There you go.
Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Is it going to be, what, a 7 fight card or 6 fights?
I'm
Do you know?
gonna say about 8 fights.
8 fights.
They also got some Amis, and then they have some pro cards. So it's gonna be a good show. They have a good main event coming on with Teddy Bustos and Michael Rodriguez fighting and stuff. They're gonna be. Then they have the rematch with Leroy Martinez and Saul Elizondo. With Leroy won the first one, and Elizondo wants his payback. But it's down to be.
He's coming from a good camp, though, right? Elizondo?
He's out there with Jackson. Well, Winklejohn, Jackson out there.
If you had to bet your house, who wins this rematch?
I'm going to go with my boy Leroy. I like Saul, but I'm going to go. I train with Leroy. I'm going to go with Leroy. So I got him going because we're building up a pretty mean camp out where we're at. So definitely going to be one to watch.
Nice.
All right, so you have an SC. Aw. Did you turn it off?
No.
Wait, you're still recording?
No, I'm still recording it.
And your sponsors? Do you want to give any shout outs to any sponsors? Or
Sure. Let me think. Good Times Smoke Shop, the Protein Shop, always there with me. 5x5 Brewery. Got some local beers coming out very, very soon here in Mission. What is it? Donna DFW. Thank you for your support. Bolido's Landscaping and Pigs in the Hood Barbecue Team. So you know the after party is gonna be lit. We got a smoke shop, barbecue team, beer, and a lot of other shit. So it's gonna be good to go. And then obviously my coaches at Amazonas, my jiu-jitsu instructor at South Texas Jiu-Jitsu, and my boxing coach at Benavides Boxing. Very grateful for all the help and very thankful. So I'd like to thank all of them.
nice. Sounds ready, man.
Oh, and Jar Hit Films. Good to go.
Fuck up the camera.
Tip the camera.
That was a
Yeah,
nod.
that's what he did.
That was a nod.
Nice. Alrighty. So.
All right, so here it is, SCFC, May 19th. This is going to be SCFC 42 at the McAllen Convention Center. Be there or don't. We'll put it on Jar Film, so you probably get it for free a week later. The flea market. $1.
No.
That'll be worth it.
Nice.
Oh, and y'all stay tuned. We're going to be having Drunken MMA coming up soon. So as soon as Danny's done with his fight, yeah, we're gonna drink it up and talk about fights and shit. Hope y'all are ready.
Pass out after 2 beers.
You're Joey Jr. then.
Everybody fucking.
Yeah, have a good night.
Cut.